As I look back on my own teen years, I recall the surprises my generation got when our free choice, supposedly free choice to take LSD, turned out to be not so free. First, people learned that they couldn't do something as simple as go to sleep when they wanted to because the drug kept them up. Then they found that flashbacks would come out of nowhere. Later, of course, we found that the drug that was supposed to help us make an anti-establishment statement had been delivered to everyone by the established government, and that's true. That was who was behind. Actually, your security services working for the government, that's who was behind bringing the drugs in. So I compared that with the computer game violence that this generation has been absorbing since preschool, and these visions of violence, and wondered if, like LSD, these produced flashback experiences out of the blue. But because they aren't game story related, children that have them believe these are their own personal visions of violence and conclude that there must be something sociopathic or psychotic with them. Have you come across information along these lines in your research? I've read that people find themselves addicted but have not seen anything about the violent visions spontaneously happening in children or teenagers or anything relating to computer game residue. How can it not happen that way? A person is mugged, he or she will have flashbacks of the event. Anyone who has experienced a violent assault or disruptive experience will have them. These so-called games are an assault on children's tender minds and on teenagers' developing minds, and the experiences take place for hours at a time, day after day, throughout their formative years. And that's one of the many types of letters I get to do with people who understand and see what's happening to the youngsters. And what they, as I say, what they might not know is that there are people, lots and lots of people, who are employed by government agencies who are working hand in glove with the makers of these big violent video games. Mainly from Japan. Japan's a big player. They lead the field in altering the cultures of people. They have specialists in all different mental health areas working on these things. And it really is U.S. companies and British companies and other international companies that are based in Japan that take the lead and then market it to the children. And what do you tell relatives and friends when they do what everyone else does, and that's buy your child one of these games for birthdays or Christmas? Or what do? Do you accept it and let them do it, or do you ignore what your child does anyway? Most will just simply ignore it, thinking everyone's doing it, so it must be all right. But these games are literally meant to desensitize your children from killing and the acts of killing.